welcome to another episode of Amazing Women Speak. I am Crystal Gunn, financial strategist for women, founder of the Amazing Woman Network, and host of Amazing Women Speak. I am happy to be here and get this conversation underway. So, Michele, let's welcome our guest.
Thank you, Crystal. Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to be here one more time in the space of another pair of dynamic, dope women. This is a conversation that I yet am looking forward to one more time. I am Michele Harper. I am the owner of Agency Fitness, as well as the director of diversity with evident change. With Agency Fitness, we too, like Amazing Women, challenge women to operate and own their agency fully. I am really excited to have this conversation tonight as we continue to talk about Black businesses. And when you have women who have been able to do it and do it successfully for a long time, it was necessary for us to share space and to talk about what that looks like. I'm really excited to introduce to you first to Nicole Williams. Come on in, Nicole.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm Nicole Williams, and I am the owner and CEO of the Group Home Connect, which is a platform where we teach people, teach business owners, and teach investors how to rent out their homes to more than one person. So it's teaching how to start a group home and make the most of your property. I've been doing it for over 15 years. I am a group homeowner, and I absolutely love it.
Awesome, thank you.
Yes.
I'm really excited to introduce my friend, who I've known for such a long time and is one of the most beautiful souls you ever want to meet and gives an opportunity to create beauty on the outside. I'd like to welcome in Talya. Come on in here.
Hello. Are you able to see me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Talya. Thank you for such a beautiful and warm welcoming, Michele. And I just have to say that it's amazing to be on this amazing platform with you ladies. My name is Talya Ashford. I am a professional licensed makeup artist. I've been a makeup artist for 27 years. And I enjoy helping women see the beauty within and expressing that beauty on the outside, creating a safe space for women to gather, to converse, to connect, and just to grow as a community.
Thank you. So again, really excited to have this conversation. Reminding those that are out there on Facebook that we are live, that the chat is open for you. Please drop your questions and your comments. We will be checking in as we go through what I call the fastest hour of your day. These conversations are so amazing, and we get to learn about Black women in all of the ways in which they show up and make this world better. And so when I say it's a fast conversation, it is a fast conversation. So please use the chat to get your thoughts and questions in as we go along. And so we're going to dive right in again, because it is the fastest hour of your day. I really want to begin to learn from the both of you as Black women who have been in this game for 15 plus years on your own, through all of the things that you have gone through. What was your biggest challenge? And to date, what is most rewarding about being in business for yourself over the last 15 plus years? Talya.
Okay. Wow. The biggest challenge, I would say, really walking by faith, thinking you know how to do something, and just really, for me, letting God lead me and letting God show me a different strength that I knew I didn't have, which was believing in myself. The fellowship and the outpouring of love and support that I received from the ladies that I'm surrounded by is just really overwhelming. So when you guys talk about amazing women, that's really all I know. It's nothing but amazing women, So grateful to be able to be someone that can help women see the beauty that they naturally possess You know, we're in a time where it's about looking like somebody else or fitting into a certain, you know, style. But my style is no, fitting into you, embracing, seeing the beauty that's within you. And you don't have to look like anybody else because God made us all unique. As you can see, I'm the makeupless makeup artist. no makeup, but hey, I got that glowing skin. I'm about good skincare and being okay with nothing and being okay with a little extra accessory to it. You know what I mean? So I just want to help every woman understand makeup doesn't make you. It's something that's just like putting on your earrings, selecting a purse. It's just something that accessorizes you. It doesn't define you. Definitely.
What's been challenging for you?
Challenging, community, you know, just really building community within the makeup artist industry.
Okay.
Just wanting artists to know it's not about competing, but it's about celebrating one another and coming together, and we can strengthen one another if we do that. I would say that's the most challenging. That's been my kind of like plight, is to build my community and help people see it's not about competing because everybody has something different to offer.
I love that, right? It's one of the challenges, one being in business, two being a Black woman in business, that competitive thing that comes up in bubbles, and we don't realize the importance of supporting each other and growing each other, and that this industry is so large that there's the ability for all of us to be successful. And so, Nicole, when I think about what it is that you do, right, and how you, one, teach folks how to do what you do, and then to be able to maintain group homes, which is so challenging when you think about having to work with state government and all of that. What has been the most rewarding thing for you and the most challenging as you continue to do this work?
Well, the most rewarding thing, obviously, is when you are knowing that you can help people, help change their lives, make their lives better, see where they were, how they were living, and seeing how, you know, some people may have treated them. And when they come into our home, I try to make sure that, you know, that they feel welcome, that they feel safe, that they feel loved, that we're family. And when I do my teaching, I like to let people know that when you decide to do something like this, don't do it for the money, okay? You want to make sure that you get it in there because you have a heart for it. Because if you don't have a heart for it, it won't work. It won't work. It won't be long term. Trust me, we all feel like we all should get paid more, or we should all have more money. But when you have this type of business and population, it really isn't about the money. It's about what you can give them to make their lives better. And I always put myself, what if that was my loved one, or what if that was me that was in that situation? I would want to make sure that I'm somewhere safe and clean, and, you know, that the people that I trust to take care of me or to take care of the home, that they're doing that. So.
Okay. And so if I wanted to get into the group home business,
Mm-hmm.
do I need to have my own property up front?
No, that's the beauty of it. So, and first, let me put out there that I do unlicensed homes. So when you do an unlicensed home, there is no licensing or regulations. But I always tell providers, just because you're unregulated does not mean that you're not untouchable. Because folks will call Adult Protective Services on you if they feel like, you know, something shady is going on. But in terms of, you do not have to own your own home. If you do own your own home, that's beautiful. But a lot of people, they do lease homes, they rent homes. And sometimes when they try to do that, they get into a situation where the owner, they don't really understand the business model. And so I try to teach that as well. And I am going to be getting in touch with a couple of realtors because I like to teach them as well, because a lot of people are really interested in doing this type of work and starting homes so they can provide services. So if I could teach them the business model and how everything works, because when people hear group homes, they think, mentally ill people, they're going to be trashing my house. They're going to be running in and out the house. And the way that I teach it, the clientele that I tell people that they should have, they really are just folks who just need somewhere to live. And that's the bottom line. And we have a lot of group homes that's for dementia, mentally ill. But what about those folks who can't afford to get their own apartment, okay, because they don't have the credit score? And I really like to gear towards the elderly people. What about that elderly person who doesn't make quite the amount that they need to make to live on, because $800 going towards their rent, but then their co-pays might be $100. Then they have to purchase food because the bridge card, $250 seems like a lot, but sometimes it's not. So they have to pick and choose, am I going to take my medications, or am I going to pay my light bill? So no senior should have to live like that. So there are options that are available with homes like ours, where it is a group shared living. So, but it does ensure them that their lights won't get cut off, because everything is inclusive. Their gas won't get cut off, all right? And they are around other people. So if there was an emergency, that there is someone else there that can help them, that can call 911 if needed.
So I'm going to ask you both this a couple of times throughout this, and Crystal will invite you as well. Nicole, how can folks get in touch with you if they want information on how to do this, or to learn more about, maybe they have somebody who may be in need? How would folks reach you?
Well, the best way is to contact me through my email address, which is nwilliams@thegrouphomeconnect. That's nwilliams@thegrouphomeconnect. So once they reach me through the email and let me know that they're interested in learning about the business, or perhaps if they have someone that needs a room, then the best way would be to contact me through the email, and I will reach back out to them.
Awesome. .com, .net?
.com. Yep. So nwilliams@thegrouphomeconnect.com. Yeah.
I can imagine that there's a rapidly growing need for this, with everything that's going on in the community, economically, with rents being higher, everything is just more money. And like you said, that person who is, Social Security, and let alone Social Security disability, who's getting less than $1,000 a month, how could they survive and have? And so I love it, because I think it takes away that extra stress and burden from someone, because they know they have a clean place to stay and will be well fed and cared for.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, bravo to you for that.
Absolutely. And I know you guys hear about people living in hotels and they're spending $1,000 a month, and it's like they have no kitchen to cook their food. So they take their food stamps, and they have to go to the, maybe the corner store to purchase food, and that's not healthy at all.
So Talya, tell us, beauty industry, right? Like you can do makeup and not be licensed, right? Every person every person they do it, right? Like I can do hair in my kitchen and call myself a stylist and not have a license, right? Yeah. So longevity, how have you done this for so long, knowing the shifts in the industry the way it is?
Well, my focus has always been on the service. I think that is the most important part of any business, is the customer service, and that's how we create the customer retention. Being professional, being dependable. Like I tell people all the time, because I wrote a curriculum at Michigan College of Beauty, and so I teach makeup in their aesthetics and soon to be cosmetology program. But those are the things focus on. There are a lot of talented people miss all of the other elements, which the number one is the customer service. You know what I mean? So that's what I would say has been how I've been able to retain is service, dependability, and professionalism. And I'm constantly educating myself. You don't just learn something, stop there. You have to constantly reignite that passion, that creativity. So my clients see that, because I'm trying to be better for my clients,
I love that. How can folks reach you?
At Talya, Talya, at preludebeauty.com or the 313-719-8277.
Awesome. Again, we will ask you that several times throughout.
So even before the pandemic, 8 out of 10 Black businesses would fail, right? So to be in business 15 plus years, 27 years is like crazy. So there is a staying power that one, I think needs to be celebrated, right? That you all have been in business and have done it very, very well. Talya, you just mentioned customer service, and I swear that's a constant thing in whatever industry it is customer service. But there are so many talented makeup artists out there who are not licensed. What is, other than the customer service, like if they love if they love what they do and they want to be in business 27 years from now, again, outside of the customer service and the continuing ed, what is something that's ultimately really, really critical?
Building relationships. You have to build the relationships. You have to network. And I would say getting your license. I mean, I just got my license actually in 2017 because I did not know in the state of Michigan that you need it. So a lot of people aren't licensed because they don't know that they need it. But I would say going to school and getting my license just really elevated it to a whole nother level, because there are things that you'll learn in school that you can't learn off YouTube. You can't off of Instagram. So going back and getting a fundamentally sound education in this field is one of the best things they can do for themselves.
That was a very transparent moment when you said you've been doing this for 27 years, but not long ago did you go get your license, and how it turned around. I salute you for that, because somebody would say, well, I've been doing this for 10, 15 years. Why do I need to go get licensed? Why do I need to go get certified? But yeah, that very transparent moment.
Yeah. And it was definitely challenging because I'm a single mom, 2 kids. And I have to say, just the year before, my daughter's father committed suicide. So I was dealing with a child. I had to focus on therapy and focus on her well-being, trying to finish school. But when you want to be at the top of your game, you realize there are things that you need to do. You just have to persevere and push through and do them. And I wouldn't have this opportunity of teaching had I not went to school. And so critical because during COVID, I had already had another source of income, teaching, and it allowed me to pivot and to be able to transition and make it through COVID. And then I started teaching my clients, being able to have a curriculum and a way to teach people, not just show you, but teach you was critical, going through an instructor's program and learning that. And that's how I was able to sustain through COVID, teaching my clients how to do their own makeup because they're on Zoom. See, it's different when you just, showing up, or if you're on a phone call, but when you're on this camera and you're a CEO and a CFO, running corporations, you have to look polished. It wasn't really about looking made up, but just looking polished and professional. And there's a difference with that as well, but it allowed me to really pivot and make it through, COVID.
I love that. Absolutely love that. And COVID happened, right? Like we did not see it coming. Nicole, what kind of pivots did you have to make, right? Like somebody to switch that light on and life became very different. what were some of the adjustments you had to make sure that you were still in business?
So the fortunate thing about my line of business is that there will always be elderly people. There will always be highly functioning, mentally ill people that need housing. So in our business, with the unlicensed group home business model, we didn't really have an effect on us because people still need a place to live. But just to touch on that too, I guess that's too when I kind of decided to start teaching, just like you, and teaching people how to do it so that they can utilize their homes and help other people. And then also still maintain an income coming in by doing so.
Yeah.
So
I think it's so commendable that you all both touched on it, on the teaching part of things, because we live in this competitive society and too many people having a thought process of lack, where like I could almost hear someone saying, well, Talya, why would you want to teach your clients how to do their own makeup, right? Or how, Nicole, why would you want to teach someone else how to do how to do an unlicensed group home? As if to say, this world isn't big enough for everybody, but
yes.
I think it's huge. And I think that serves a lesson to our listeners that, what, my space is my space, and my piece of this pie is enough, and it is enough pie to share for everybody to be able to do well.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, we are giving gifts to share the gift.
Right.
Yes.
So if you don't give back, how do you think you're going to move forward? You know what I mean? Like, because I have actually taught a lot of the makeup artists in Michigan.
Wow.
I've never been afraid to give, because I always understood what God has for me, He has for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I could share a vision with you. You could take the vision and do it, but you'll never be able to do it the way I do it.
Correct.
Right.
So,
And I think, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, just to touch on that, I think that a lot of times when people are in business, they want to be hush-hush about how to start the business, because they feel like that, it's only 10 people in the world, and, that they're the only ones that can do it, where, like you were saying, you have to share it. It's a billion people in this world. I might do it one way, and then you have your flavor of how you do it. So I think, I believe too, what God has for me is for me. So like in my line of business, even when I first started out, no one wanted to tell you. It was just hush hush. Like, oh no, they just didn't want to share it. And I feel like it's needed so much. There's so many people out here, homeless people. People forget about the homeless people. They get a paycheck. They just need an address. So it's just so many people out here, and and I want everybody just to know that you can do this. Grab you a home and help people. It shouldn't be homeless people on the street, and not when we can help them.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
When I tell you, one of the things that I really appreciated about this platform and the conversations is that Black women understand the importance of faith and trusting in a higher power in order to get through all of the noise that is happening, and really being vulnerable, really being genuine, and understanding that it's not me, right? Like, not on my own have I gotten here. And because of the way that I've been blessed, that I'm willing to give back, that I pay attention to paying it forward, and really being mindful that, right, like as Black women, we are accountable to each other. In ways to help us grow and develop, because the community requires us to be different than the ways that we've been socialized. And I remember, so this now has to be 10, 12 years ago. And Jasmine, my oldest daughter, was making a transition from her career, and she really got interested in beauty. She's always loved fashion and wanted to start understanding. She wasn't quite sure what she wanted to do. Talya was like, send her to me.
Wow.
Had no idea about, right, like how much passion she had, how much talent she had. She was like, send her to me. And she took Jasmine with her on a couple of shoots just to begin to experience. It ended up not being the path that Jasmine took, but I will never forget when you didn't have to, right? And that's what I'm talking about, paying attention to understanding that we are accountable to each other. And I know if there's a one Jasmine story, Talya, you have 100 more where you have reached back and have made space when you didn't have to.
Yeah.
Right? You did not have to. Your gifts and your talents speak all on their own, right? When I think about Nicole in the industry that you're in, the ability to provide assistance in that way requires a gift of love, especially you intentionally targeting the most vulnerable population.
Yes.
The elderly has exceeded children as being the most vulnerable population. So the idea that that is your primary goal to ensure that the elderly, right? Like that's nothing but God and a good heart. And I'm grateful to share space with both of you, dynamic women.
Thank you.
When did you know it was a thing? And when did you know? That is an inside joke. When did you know it was a thing? And because a lot of times you have this thing and you're not really obedient in the thing, right? But when did you know, one, that it was a thing for you, and that, you know what, this is the path that I'm supposed to take? Not to say that it's the only path, but this is the path that I'm supposed to take, and you just dug in and walked the path.
I'm sorry, speaking to me
To
first?
both of you.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
whoever wants to go first.
Well, I mean, I knew it was for me when I first started doing it, and just seeing somebody that you're taking care of. Okay. I started off as 24-hour home. So we used to have dementia clients, but just seeing that, the way that when a family knows that the weight is taken off of them, and knowing that their loved one is safe and that they trust me to take care of their loved ones, that kind of did it for me, knowing that I can take care of these people. And then I broke off into more independent people, because the more independent people, they don't really have anywhere to go. They can't go to a nursing home unless they're sick. So they really didn't have anywhere to go to, right? So knowing that they don't make the income, like I was saying earlier, that for them to live properly, to make sure that they're safe and they can afford their medications, their co-pays. When we came up with this option to do the independent affordable homes, group homes, and just seeing the people, knowing that it's like they know that I don't have to worry about my light bill, my heat bill, knowing that they can just come in and out. They don't have to worry about that because all that is taken care of. So just knowing that we have the opportunity to be able to provide that for them, that safety net, that's all that I need. That's all that I need. That's it. So,
Talya, when did you know it was a thing, and when did you absolutely decide to do the thing?
It's going to be another transparency moment.
I love it.
But as I reflect, I've always been in the service industry. I mean, I used to be a personal shopper, just always just doing something with service. And I found that servicing other people allowed me not to think about me.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So not realizing it now later in life that was just a deflection for myself, is if I'm making others happy, I don't have to deal with my unhappiness.
Wow.
wow. Yeah.
Through that, it became my purpose, was to help in a way to heal other women. I mean, because really, it's so funny because people are like, oh, you need a YouTube channel. And I'm like, I'm not doing that unless it has purpose. I mean, there's a ton of people just doing makeup, but what is what would be the purpose? So I came up with a thing. I said, I'm going to do it one day, and it's going to be called More Than Makeup. Makeup is what brings you in, but when you get into those conversations that I have with these ladies that sit in my chair, it's so much more than makeup. And sometimes I'm there for them, and sometimes I'm thinking for makeup, and I get something much bigger out of it. You know what I mean? So that's when I knew it was my purpose, was to use it as a vessel to help heal women. You know what I mean? To have healing conversations, to have touching and freeing moments. You know, even like when I do bridal, I always ask, may I say a prayer with you before I get started? And people, sometimes they just cry because the amount of stress, the amount of pressure, the amount of nobody thinking about what their needs are in the moment beyond the day. You know what I mean? It's just, that's when I know it was my purpose, honestly. Yeah.
I love that.
Mhm.
I absolutely love it. And it is something to want to pour into other people, and to hear that two very different ways of doing so between the two of you, but you definitely are making differences in people's lives. And it's the give back that I think is so incredible that you do. Nicole, tell people again how they can reach you.
Yes, the best way to contact me is through the email, which is nwilliams@thegrouphomeconnect.com. So nwilliams with an S at the grouphomeconnect.com.
And you have a Facebook group. What is it? What is
Yes.
that Facebook group where you drop a lot of nuggets on the business?
So yep, it's the Group Home Connect. So there's the Group Home Connect page, and then I have a group. The group is where you'll have to answer a few questions, and then I will accept you. So it's the Group Home Connect.
So,
oh, I'm sorry.
Right. And I've never asked you this question, Talya. Right. I remember when you were working at the Mac counter.
Ooh.
Right? Right. Way back. You have little children. Like, how do you then, with all of that knowing as a single mother, you walk away and decide, this is going to be the thing that I'm going to do for me and for my family. And here you are, all these years later, with your own brick and mortar, right? You're teaching classes at a cosmetology school, you're writing curriculum, right? Like, what made you? Taking that risk, especially with young children, has got to be hard. And forget the panic that I had the first time I went back to the Mac counter and she was gone. Wait, what? What's happening?
Well, another transparency moment. You know, I was like one of the first African Americans to work for MAC, and I went through like 4 or 5 interviews to get that job. It was tough. So knowing that and managing the first
Wait, I gotta interrupt. I need you to say that again so that we can celebrate in that moment, because you know it's a lot of us out there that still wear MAC. But say it again. What were you?
One of the first African Americans to work for MAC in the state of Michigan.
Dope.
Wow.
Okay, go ahead.
Like 6 months, I did $1 million in my first year with a staff of 4. And I had put so much into it. I never took a sick day, a vacation day for those first 2 years, because I knew, being an African American woman, that I had to produce and just make those sacrifices. But years down the road, there were some changes within the company that did not make me feel comfortable. You know, I was at Fairlane at the time, and there of them taking the chairs off the floor so the people couldn't sit down and have their makeup done. And I'm looking like, well, we didn't do that at Somerset. Why are we doing that here at Fairlane? You know what I mean? So I saw, and it wasn't a MAC thing. Sometimes you get people in your companies that have their own direction of how stuff. And so because I took it to corporate and asked questions about what was happening, I came back to work and was fired.
Wow.
No write-ups. You couldn't say I wasn't meeting numbers or goals or AUSs, but Mac had grown so big at the time that it was so far disconnected from me talking to the people and the hires up that it just, it is what it is. It's an at-will state. And at that moment, I said, I will never work that hard for anybody else without working for myself.
Absolutely.
And that's what just made me go to work, because to give that much to somebody and to be let go because somebody might have been envious or whatever the case may be, I never wanted to feel that way again. So I said, I'm gonna do it for me. Yeah.
I appreciate that transparent moment, because I know it's a lot of people out there listening that are going through that are working. It was mentioned in conversation last night that you put in all of these hours, you don't sleep. You need to go get on a plane tomorrow, and you get on that plane tomorrow, and because you do something that someone doesn't like, not even the company, but that someone doesn't like, that your career with that company is over. So bravo to you to say. And I think as you look back, you believe getting fired was probably the best thing that happened to you.
Honey, when I walk in there on a weekend and they was in there grinding it out. I'm in here just visiting you guys. It was great.
And may I say something? That's one of the things too that I even tell my son. He graduated from high school this year, but I always tell him that start you a business, because I'm the type of person, I'd rather give my all in my 8 hours in my own company, in my own business, than to give it to someone else who doesn't know my worth. They don't know my value, and they'll never pay me what I feel like they should pay me. So when you are a business owner, for one, it can be a very lonely journey. Okay, because people are not going to see your vision how you see your vision. So I see sometimes on different platforms, and people are like, oh, well, my husband or nobody, they don't really support me. You have to support yourself, because everybody is not going to understand your vision, and you have to work at it. You have to be consistent. Just like you get up every morning and go to your corporate job, or you work wherever you work at, you're going to be there at 8 o'clock because they tell you, or you're going to get fired. Put that same energy in your own company, and it will work.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Black women are the standard, I believe, and you two are definitely showing that thing. And a lot of times, because you are the standard, right? Other people don't like that.
Right.
And instead of trying to fight it, because you could have tried to fight and sue to stay and do all that. What was the point of that? That was your relationship with them was ended, and it was time for you to move on. So bravo to that. Talya, tell us again how to get in touch with you. And did I hear Michele say you have a brick and mortar location?
Yes, I have a salon that I opened right at the beginning of 2020. I have a partner. Her name is Maya Mitchell. She does hair. And we opened up right at the start of COVID. I was like, Lord, all my money right here, what I'm going to do. But I'm telling you, that's the thing about it. I don't let anything become an excuse or a reason. Michele knows this about me, but I have multiple sclerosis, lupus, diabetes, and fibromyalgia. And I don't make excuses. I get up, I keep it moving. It's all about your mindset. When I see Michele working out and going hard, I be like, she be getting it. But it's all about a mindset. You can stay and play victim, or you can get up and you can keep it moving, so I don't know. God is faithful. I mean, I don't know if I should be talking this much religion, but
you're good. You're absolutely good.
And when I look back and just, how did I do it? Like, I remember getting the keys to my first salon, and there was a young lady had done her makeup at this event at another salon. And she said, oh my God, you're the first makeup artist that didn't make me look like solid gold. You know, she was a brown skinned young woman, beautiful. She said, everybody saw frost gold and ashy. She said, well, where do you work at? I said, well, I'm just traveling with people right now, but I would love to have a salon. She said, you know what? I manage this building. I want you to come look at it. And I'm
Wow.
thinking, credit is bold. I don't got nothing saved up. I got 2 kids. How am I going to do this, you know? And she showed me the place. I was like, wow, this is perfect. And then ironically, there was another young lady calling me asking did I want to take over her place because her and her partner was splitting up. And it happened to be the same place that this lady was showing me. I'm like, God is so cute. He is so cute. So I have good credit. She said, did I ask you about your credit? I said, I don't have a lot of money. Said that. She said, did I ask you about that? Do you want the place? I said,
Wow.
yeah. Well, when you get the deposit, bring it to me. It's yours. Just like that. So I'm a firm believer in just go and do it and figure it out as you go. And that's
Faith over fear.
Because
yeah,
we get in our own way. We get in our own way.
100%. So Nicole, 15 plus years, what's next? How do you keep this going? How do you keep the vision moving forward? What's next for you?
Just continuing on with my teaching, and there's always going to be people in the world, so I'm safe. So just continuing on with teaching and showing people, and I kind of want to break that stigma of unlicensed group homes because, you know, people, like I said, they think raggedy houses and this, and I want to break it by letting people know that we're here, we're okay. You're going to be okay. Your home is going to be okay, and just trust us. And so that is what I want to, that's what I want to put out there. And that's what I want to continue to just teach people and show people how and why we are needed.
I love that. So Talya, is there anything left? You have done it all, right? Like from those humble beginnings to you are now doing bridal shows, runway shows, you are right. Like what's next?
What's next is I have a new business model that I'm working on, and it's like a transitional salon from beauty school and getting their own. Is what I'm working on.
Love that.
And
I love that.
would love to have a school be more of a continuing education school because I look at what's missing in the industry, and that's you go to school, get your license, but where are you learning your skill set? You know, so I want to set it up to where we teach them about how to get your LLC, the insurance that you need, just all the things that nobody ever told me that I had to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
Love to have a something in place to be able to help people because I really feel like we have to do the work to save our industry or we're going to be in trouble, you know, because the generation coming up now, they're not learning the way we learned, which was up under a mentor or working in the line.
Right.
They want to go from 0 to 100
Right.
and they make all the steps in between. And so they don't last and they don't make it. And it doesn't have to be, they look at working at a salon as a negative thing, but not all salons are you working for someone. Just like my salon, I have 3 hairstylists and an esthetician. Everybody has their own business. I'm just the house. You get what I'm just setting a culture in a salon space, and then you come in and you embrace the culture that we're creating, which is spirit of excellence, a safe space for Black women, an upscale environment for Black women. That's why I opened the shop. I'm like, why do we got to go to Birmingham to experience something that feels safe and luxury when they really don't even want our business? So that was the goal and development. Salon is like, you guys have to come see it, but when you walk in, it's like, wow, this is plush, and I feel comfortable. Hey, that's what I wanted. Why can't we have that?
Right.
So that's what I wanted to create, you know. So yeah.
That's legacy building.
Oh man, thank you.
Right? Yeah.
About when I leave this world, what do I want people to say about me?
Right.
I want them to say she was a servant. She was there for me. She was kind to me. She was all the things that he wants us to be. You know what I mean? So that's my goal, really. That's my goal.
Well done, my friend. Well done. Yes. So as we begin, told you fastest hour of the day,
Yeah.
to bring this thing to a close. What's the one thing, Nicole, the person that's coming in the door next, that wants a little bit of what it is that you have and wants to be able 15 years from now to be able to sit here and say, I did it? What's that thing?
That thing would be to know that you were the best provider that you could be to change someone's life.
Mm.
That would be the one thing.
Awesome.
What's really interesting, the way that you talk about that, I love your story, is that it feels like you have one client.
Mhm.
That's the kind of passion I hear coming from you, right? You could have 100,000 folks living, but the energy that I get from you is that you have one client, and you are ensuring that that one client has the very best experience. And I am willing to bet that's the reason why you've done 15 years. I can
Mhm.
feel that energy off this screen.
Thank you. Thank you.
For
I
that kind of
appreciate it.
commitment.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Talya, what are you saying to that young lady that's walking in the door? I want to be here 27 years from now.
Just make sure you matter and that those that you serve matter.
Mm.
Everybody matters. You know, because people always ask, what celebrities have you done? I say everybody sitting in my chair is a celebrity.
I
Because
know
guess
that's right.
That
choose me. It don't matter if you work at Chrysler or if you on the big screen. I'm gonna give you the same service because everybody is deserving of the same experience. You know what I mean? So you're deserving, and every client that you service is deserving. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference in sitting in someone's chair and knowing that the service that you received covered up whatever it was you were doing, right? But it's something different to sit in that chair and get something for the inside of you,
Mhm.
right? That you get to walk away feeling better about you, so that tomorrow when the makeup comes off, or 2 days if you sleep the right way, when
Right.
the makeup comes off, I'm just saying,
Let's be clear, right?
I'm just saying. That you remember a little bit of piece of what you gave them, to be thinking about what it is to walk in this world unmade and still feel beautiful.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's it.
I
I
love it.
appreciate this conversation so much
Yes.
because a lot
Yes.
you are a giver. A lot of times you still don't feel like people see you. You still feel on the
Yeah.
bench. Pick me. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
this brings it back home to me, and it's like those who need to see you.
Yeah,
So I appreciate this.
True.
yeah. Black Business Month, folks. We are celebrating Black business, and what a remarkable opportunity for us to be able to have a conversation about Black business with two women who have been doing it, have staying power, and you can hear energy as if they just got into the game. There is space for whatever you are trying to do. I really hear faith over fear. I really hear being committed and taking care of self and pouring that into others. This
Yeah.
is how you do that long term. Black Business Month is what we're celebrating, and what an honor it is to celebrate both Nicole and Talya today. As I turn this over to Crystal to begin us with the wrap up.
It's been fantastic. And like Michele says, it's definitely the fastest hour on TV. I need everybody to do me a favor, please, that is tuning in. Go to YouTube, find us, Amazing Women Speak, and subscribe to the channel. If you are checking this out on the replay, please forward it, let someone else see it, because there's something here that was said that someone that you know needs to hear. And the only way they're going to get it is if you share this episode with them. Talya, you said something really interesting, like sitting on the sideline saying, do people really see me? 27 years. That's huge. Nicole, 15 plus years. we see you. We see you, right? And we celebrate in that 8 out of 10 Black businesses fail within the first 18 months. You guys got staying power. It's that Black girl magic personified. You all are doing it, and you're doing it with love. And I think that's part of the sauce.
Right.
Yes,
And
definitely.
it's legacy. You both are doing legacy work, and it's incredible to see. So again, I celebrate you. We celebrate you. We see you. Keep up the awesome, awesome work. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in today and continues to tune in. Check these two dope, amazing sisters out. I guarantee you, you will be more than happy and more than appreciative, and your life won't be the same afterwards. I am Crystal Gunn. I am a Black woman, and I own my amazing.
Thank you, Crystal. Once again, I'm always grateful for the obedience
Mm.
to the call that he put on your life that created this platform. Because once again, lives are being touched for folks you don't even know, that have never been in your personal space. You continue to be a game changer, and I'm grateful. Telling you all, go follow her on Facebook,
Yes.
Amazing Women Network. Her reach is far beyond. You're missing a blessing if you're not in the space. I guarantee you that. So thank you, Crystal, forever for your obedience. Nicole, Talya, what can I say? Thank you. Does not seem sufficient to learn what it is to have that staying power, to still feel your genuineness, that you didn't let 15, 27 years run you down. Change your energy, change who you are to stay in the game. You're holding true to your values. That was very clear, Nicole. I could hear that. Talya, I know it experientially. So thank you for the way that you show up in this world and give little Black girls something to aspire to, that you too can be in this business and overcome the statistics. I am so grateful to have shared space with you.
Thank you.
I cannot tell you what it is to see this kind of Black excellence. It fills my heart. Good. I just celebrated 2 years of agency fitness. The idea that 15 and 27 could be in front of me is just mind blowing. I celebrate you. Thank you for paving the way and showing us how. My name is Michele Harper. I am a Black woman, and I absolutely own my amazing. Nicole.
My name is Nicole Williams. I am a Black woman, and I own all of my amazing.
Yeah. Thank you, Talya.
My name is Talya Ashford. I am a Black woman, and I own all of my sisters' amazing.
Yes. One more time, Nicole, tell us, how can we find you?
Yes, at N Williams at the group home connect.com, N Williams at the group home connect.com.
Thank you, Talya.
And mine is Talya, Talya, at preludebeauty.com.
Awesome. So we say goodnight. Crystal, again, thank you. This platform, Amazing Women Speak. Invite your girlfriends. We are here on Sundays at 7 to tune in. There are lessons to be learned. There's love to be found. There's networking. Crystal is changing the narrative that Black women can't support each other and believe in each other and uplift each other and celebrate. This is the space where we talk about all Black women matter and their amazingness that they've been sitting on, that it's time to rise up and be the very thing that was established at birth. Thank you, Crystal Gunn.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Crystal.
Be sure to tune in next week when it is Mental Wellness Day. So we'll see you next week.
Bye. Much love.
Thank you.
Much
Bye-bye.
love.
Bye.